Hey everybody, what's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to Kandi and the Gang episode recap. What is this? The episode 6? There's 10 episodes in the season and things are heating up. You guys, I gotta say, I actually want to see a second episode of Kandi and the Gang, a second season. This episode was actually really, really funny. Y'all know I like a good murder mystery, right? A good game of Clue. I really did enjoy Chandrika going around trying to figure out who the snitch was. I thought it was hilarious. It was so funny. Anyway, let's say hi. What's up, Danielle again? Hey, Yvette. Hey, Lily. Hey, Lorian. Hey, April. Hey, Kim. Hey, Patricia. What's going on? All right, we're back. Let's get into this. I really want to know, though, what did y'all think of this episode on a scale of 1 to 10? And what do you think of this season? Hey, Nola, what's going on? Hey, Erica, what did you think of this season? Hey, Nessa, what's going on? Hey, Mika, what's going on, Mama? What did y'all think of the season so far? I actually thought the Kandi and the Gang is getting better and better and better. I know they had to do a slow build. I would have appreciated 1 2-hour special of episodes 1 to 3, and then they kicked off the series on episode 4. I feel like episodes 1 to 3 could have been condensed into 2 hours, and then we started on episode 4. But I gotta say, this show, what last week was funny. This week I actually laughed out loud with Chandrika being like, "So you don't know who said it?" And I don't know, there was just something so funny. It reminded me of being at work and being like, "So you don't know? You don't know? Ooh, who could have said it?" And the whole time you side-eyeing the person trying to see it's them. What's the name of the host that loved wearing his little brother's shirts, and he loved wearing that button up top to the top button? He got a look, a style aesthetic, and he sticks to it. Now let's start off from the beginning, right? Can I just say that Kandi and the love she has for her family, it's a beautiful thing to see. The fact that Patrick, she literally feels like that's her brother reincarnated. It was deep. I see how like Kandi has such a soft spot for him. Patrick's a cutie. He actually is a gentle soul. And then we get into Melvin, and she's like, "Well, that's just like my son, right?" I thought that was really, really cute to see the side stories, right? I do think that it was also super, super cute that they really got into him about it at Safari. And the way, like, Patrick, we know you like Safari, but Safari is basically taking over your life. And Kandi, being a mommy, was like, "Let's see what it is." Even though Candy's, you and Safari, I don't know Kandi personally, but it seemed like y'all have that same energy. It seems like they have the same energy. So I was like, I thought that was interesting, right? Let's see. Hold on. Okay, so right. I love the fact that Candy's family loves to have fun, right? Now Kandi says Safari seems like she's wearing the pants in the relationship. But you know what else I thought it was interesting? When it was Torin and Safari didn't want Torin over, Patrick kind of put Safari and Torin together to hash it out, right? And I was like, well, why ain't he protecting her from Torin and, this and that? I found it interesting that when Kandi tried to be like, "Well, Safari, well, why don't you want your friends over and asking questions?" He got real protective of Safari in the relationship. And he was like, "What's going on?" Hold on really quick, guys. Hold on. Okay, so he got real protective of Safari in that relationship when it came to Kandi. He literally was like, "Oh, no, 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 no. Like, no, she's fine. And no, it's not what she wants, it's what I want." And he got real protective. I said, okay, even though Patrick is really into Safari, it's a grounded relationship and he 100% wants it to last. And I think it's sweet whenever somebody finally meets like their first love. Do you know what I'm saying? All right. Kandi was able to talk him into the housewarming. Philip and Don Juan. When Don Juan wanted to show him a presentation, and Don Juan was like, "Hold on, what's going on?" And Philip's like, "Oh, you got your arts and craft project." And Don Juan was like, "See, when you do something as a presentation, when I do it as an arts and crafts project." Let me say this about Don Juan. Kandi was so smart to hire Don Juan. Don Juan, again, let me just say this. Because again, in Real Housewives, I never got a sense of Don Juan. They always painted him like he was Kandi's assistant. And there's no shame in being Kandi's assistant, right? Don't get me wrong. But they always made it seem like, he was Kandi's assistant and Kandi just like, oh, we gonna do this. And Don Juan would be like, okay. After seeing Don Juan in all these episodes, Don Juan, I think, is such an asset to Kandi. He is incredibly smart, incredibly intelligent. He's incredibly analytical. He's incredibly strategic, but he's also incredibly good for reading people, incredibly good for grasping the situations, and incredibly good for giving people what they need to hear to either motivate them to do better or to get them in check. But he does it in a way that leaves everybody feeling good, everybody feeling respected, everybody feeling valued. Even that conversation he had with Chandrika when she was like, well, I was just trying to figure out who said it. And he was like, and you said it to me. So I figured, and no, she's like, and everybody told me. And he's like, yeah, just like you lied to me and told me you didn't say it. So what's the problem? He literally is so good at handling people, situations, vision. I wonder what Don Juan's IQ is. I'm not even being funny. What is his IQ? He is super, super, super intelligent. I'm telling y'all, he is like a crown jewel in the Kandi factory. Don Juan, he's really, really smart. Even the way he handled Chandrika, the way he handled Philip, the way he handles Todd and Kandi, the way he handles the business, and the ability. Do you know what type of interpersonal, not even that, do you know what type of intelligence and strategic mind it takes to talk to people, especially when those people are in the wrong, and still find a way to find common ground, let them know they overstepped a boundary, let them know that you saw them, let them know that it will no longer be accepted, let them know that you're serious about it, but also end with a little joke and they get to walk away and everybody's feeling good. It is so hard to do that. Forget about work, even in interpersonal relationships. And the fact that Don Juan does that with ease, the fact that I don't know, it's a skill. It's a skill. Listen, Don Juan did play Chandrika like a parent with a kid they know's lying. But again, most people don't have the patience for that. Most people will try to get the ego involved. Most people will feel some type of way. Don Juan knows how, that's what it is. He is 100% able to separate his personal feelings from the job at hand and from the task at hand. And this goes across all things. And it's to me, it's such a mark of high intelligence and a skill that you can divorce. Because think about it. Do we know what Don Juan truly feels about anybody? No. The only time you even get a look of annoyance is when somebody's talking about they're not going to do their job. But we actually don't know what Don Juan feels about anybody. I mean, Kandi, Carmen, Jamie, and all of them. Yeah, he likes them. But I mean, as far as but nobody knows what Don Juan truly feels or what Don Juan is thinking. That is a skill, and it's not something easy to come by. Yo, he is, listen, he was so good. Okay, so anyway, let's get into it, right? The Chandrika murder mystery, asking everybody, Chardo in his tight shirt. Listen, Don Juan's the star of the show. I don't care what anybody says. Let's talk about Todd in the kitchen. Todd finally got in the kitchen, barking out orders, don't know what's going on, sending out cold macaroni and cheese. Melvin just getting mad because, cooks don't like anybody in their thing. That was such a mess, but it was a lovable mess. It's like, and the fact that Philip was like, Todd's my guy, but he doesn't know anything about operationals, right? Even Philip got his digs in like, yeah, it ain't so easy, is it? It's not so easy, is it? So, but aside from that, right? Aside from that, let's get into the real mess. Brandon, and I said it before in the last thing, when I was like, listen, I have my doubts about Brandon. I don't know if you're actually a good guy and you're just sowing the dom, or this is all game just to better, and that's it. Brandon is not ish. He's not ish. He's not right. Brandon is off the list. He is horrible and dominates on. Let's talk about what Brandon did, because I actually took notes for the rundown. Let's talk about what Brandon did, right? Don Juan and Philip sat him down and was like, yo, you dating an employee, this can't do. They were looking at him to exercise some leadership. The leadership he would have exercised, is literally saying, listen, I'll transfer to a different restaurant. That's what they were looking for him to do, to take ownership of the situation that he created. Don't forget, Dom didn't want to ride with him, right? Dom didn't want to ride with to be with him. Dom didn't want to start a relationship at work. Dom thought Brandon was cute, but she wasn't. Brandon pursued her. Brandon wined and dined. Brandon begged her to enter into a relationship. How low down, dirty, and disgusting is it that as soon as your bosses literally say, all right, we got to do something, you're like, okay, let's transfer her. The fact that you were so cowardly that you tried to save your own butt by getting this girl transferred, you don't know what she has going on. You don't know if she likes working at Old Lady Gang. You don't even know why. Who are you for someone you chased down to say she can get transferred? Not even that. From Don Juan and Philip's point of view, you're so unprofessional. You don't even know what you did. That's why Don Juan laughed and said, you can't be serious. You literally suggested we do something that is illegal. You are the manager. You're the one we can control. You are literally opening Kandi up to a multi-million-dollar lawsuit if you transfer an employee because they were dating the manager. The manager is the one that the company can control. The manager is the one that's like, okay, we're going to move you out, but not the employee. And for him to even suggest that, it was so low down and dirty. It also showed a very cowardly side. And it let me know you're just playing with Dominique. You just want to get her in bed. You don't, and even if he isn't, let's just say he really does like Dominique. To me, that's even more scary because you're claiming you like me and you are so cowardly that as soon as the going gets tough, your first instinct is to throw me under the bus and sacrifice my job. And the reason you give is because she's always traveling at work. So you just somehow decided you need your job more than mine. You're the one sitting there on Goodwill couches. Brandon, what are you using your money for? So, but the minute that happens, you decide that your job is worth more than mine. And without talking to me or doing anything, you decide, yeah, we can just get rid of her. And you sit, So anyway, but then I was like, Brandon ain't ish at all, right? And like, Dom, you need to run, right? But what else did he do, right? He tried to get her fired. Then he showed up at her rehearsal to break up. It also showed how seriously he takes her job. She is a dancer. They are rehearsing. For anyone that's ever dated a creative, anything like that, rehearsal is a serious thing. But even if it was for fun, she is rehearsing. You literally interrupted a class. Forget about class. You interrupted a business meeting. You interrupted a business meeting like there were just three girls giggling around. It also let me know you don't got respect for Dom and you don't have respect for what Dom does. You just don't. You don't. You look at it, it's like, oh, what do y'all get together and just like practice your dance moves? Okay. You just don't have respect for it. You entered in somebody's place of work in the middle of them having their team meeting. And let's not forget, he came down there to break up with her. It's not even like he was like, oh, I want to see my baby dance. You came down to break up with her. You interrupted her rehearsal. You embarrassed her. You made her look stupid. Even the choreographer is like, what are you doing here? Everybody was uncomfortable. But let me tell you also, you interrupted her session. And did anybody peep? He was giving me Simon Gabodia vibes watching the girls dance. The way he was trying not to look, but he was looking. I didn't like the way he was watching the girls dance at all. I don't know. There was something about it that threw me. Okay, it wasn't as bad as Simon Gabodia, but it was bad, right? And then after, you popped up. After you popped up, you literally told a half story about what was going on. You told her that, they could move. She could go to another thing. You didn't say that they were saying you need to move. And he's like, oh, we need to do something about it, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, because you're hardly around. You don't even do this. And Dom had to be like, well, hold on a second. I want my job. Like, just because all that happens, it doesn't mean in any way that I don't want to work here. Doesn't mean that. Like, what are you doing? He literally came, interrupted her session, embarrassed her, did all this stuff, and was kissing on her. When hey, babe, was kissing on her when he knew that you were coming to either get her to quit old lady gang so you could keep your job, right? Or you were trying to get her to what? I don't know. I really honestly don't know. Brandon isn't ish. Dom better run. Can you hand me a straw? Dom better run. Brandon is not ish. Listen. I never knew what she saw. Listen, Brandon to me, he seemed like, like, again, sometimes the way people act can make you like a lot like, sometimes the way people act can make you see the good in them. Brandon, because he treated Dominique, and I'm like, oh, he wants something for her. I was like, oh, Dom's, like Brandon. But now that he's up to on some, Brandon is nothing but an F boy. He's nothing but an F boy. That literally manager that's been trying to sleep with the bartender, right? And now that's having repercussions. Now he wants to sit there and act like he got morals and values. Please, Brandon is weak. Brandon's weak. Brandon is weak. Hold on, Yeah, I'm mad too. Brandon is weak. Don't like him. We got a few minutes. If you guys want to call in, drop a call-in link. We got a few minutes to go. Brandon is so weak. Listen, this is Vanderpump Rules, the Black edition. I don't think so. This has a completely different vibe than Vanderpump Rules. I don't see it. I used to watch Vanderpump Rules all the time. I don't see it. Yeah. Oh, Dom Juan said a lot of people are mad at each other. I wonder if that's Dom and Brandon. Mushu, what's wrong? Huh? Oh, give her some. Hello? My dog's bullying me for food. Yes. My bestie usually, I swear to God, literally grills the dog Chilean sea bass and literally makes some sauteed vegetables and rice. And I think Mushu is spoiled because now like takeout coming, Mushu is barking like somebody owes or something. Anyway, listen, let's go. Here's the top. Here's the link for the girl chat things. Let's see. I don't know why during the meeting he didn't say she's about to go on tour with Rick Ross anyway, because Brandon didn't want, because here's the thing. They don't want Dom. They don't want them working at all. Because how about this? Let's just say Dom goes on tour with Rick Ross. The job gave her permission to go on tour. Let's just say that while she's on tour, they call her and they say, Dom, we don't need you anymore. We don't have shifts for you. I'm sorry. She can literally go back and sue them for wrongful termination, saying that because of her relationship status, right? They literally fired her wrongful termination. You can fire anybody for any reason if it's at will, except for if you are in a protective category. Brandon, as a manager, should have realized that you are opening Kandi and the gang up to tremendous liability. Just tremendous liability, Philip is still upset with Chandrika from the first encounter. Maybe, but can we talk about Chandrika's the curly one? Chandrika is a gorgeous girl, and her looks in the confessionals are giving. But that wig she had on during the whole filming, she just looked like she was coming into work. Girl. Hey, Kimberly, what's going on? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Tisa?
During the whole filming, she looked like she was coming into work. Girl.
You gave me the courage. I'm gonna do my own YouTube now.
Mama, like turn the volume down on the.
Okay, I'll turn it down.
Yeah. No,
okay, there we go.
There's an echo. Okay, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You gave me the courage. I'm just gonna say this real quick. You gave me the courage because I was nervous. I looked at your video earlier,
Oh, did
And you
you?
were, yes, and you were saying how people, that's the main thing that most
Yeah.
people are nervous about getting on.
Yeah.
That's been my thing, like, ugh. But
Yeah.
I went ahead and did it. I did the video, but I haven't uploaded it yet.
Okay, when you do, make sure you give me a link. I'll share it in my videos and stuff and get you some views. Hype it up.
Okay.
When you're ready, but put it out there. Put it out there. I'm
Okay.
thinking about doing another video
Okay.
about like hashtags and SEOs and this and that and all this other stuff and tags and whatnot. Just make sure that when
Cool.
you do tags, YouTube changed the rules. So a lot of people are still doing it by
Okay.
what was in YouTube in 2016. All those SEOs in the tag part, they don't make a difference. YouTube now puts a lot. YouTube now puts a lot of creative. Mushu, can you open the door? Mushu's growling.
I love dogs.
Yes, like I've trained her now that she tries to have conversations and talk instead of barking. Can you open the door? She's trying to. Thank you. Okay, there we go. It's hard to bring a doggy in. Okay, so anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so the hashtags that you put in the tags at the very bottom, more they don't really make a difference. Used to, even a year or two ago, but YouTube saw the way people were gaming the system. So they literally, first of all, if you put in over 14, they don't even read them. It doesn't do anything. Under 14, it makes a minor difference, but not much. But you know where you get the same power now? In the description box. What? YouTube, because they were bought over by Google, anything you were going to put in there, instead of just say you're making something about Michael Jackson or Jimmy Dean, you wouldn't say, tag Michael Jackson, tag Jimmy Dean. You'd be like, in this video, we're going to talk about Michael Jackson and Jimmy Dean, blah, blah. You literally just write a few sentences. They don't have to be long, but write what it's about, right?
Okay.
Write what it's about in the description box. And then you can put hashtags in
I'm
the
just going to get my cord because it's about to go out, but I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah. But that's how you do with the hashtags and whatnot. It's all about the description box. And a good way you can actually even get good descriptions, Google, if you're doing something timely, go to Google and Google what your video is about. If it's about like teaching dolphins to hula hoop, literally put in teaching dolphins to hula hoop, right? And then top searches that come up, just cut and paste their titles into the tag and into the description box. And you'll come up in the Google and YouTube search on YouTube for that subject. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You come up in the top. Well, you'll move up in the top. Anyway, that's just a little trick that one of the YouTubers shared with me, and it actually really, really works if you're trying to do that.
But what should I put in there when I'm like, if it's like just a regular, it's like a 7-minute video, and so just like, what should I put in? It's just me introducing myself. So should I just put in the
Is it like a get to know me?
Yeah, it's just like a get to know me. Oh, the phone went out. Oh
no. Kimberly? Hey, Nola. What's going on?
Hey.
We're waiting for Kimberly. I think there's something wrong with the internet today. I swear to God, it don't make no sense.
I don't know. I think mine is tripping too. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I swear to God, there is something wrong with the internet. There's something wrong with Skype. There's something wrong with so many things. We can hear you.
Mine's been tripping. That's why I had went out and went back in because it was like I lost connection. And I was like, how? I can still hear everything. It's crazy.
Hey, Lily. Lily's at a celebrity event. You live the life, Lily. So go on, Nola. What you think of this episode?
Listen, I'm enjoying Kandi in the Gang. It's giving me a break from all of the fighting, wine glass pitching, because I'd be mad they're wasting good wine like that. Upsetting my blood pressure because that is against my religion to waste alcohol. So I'm enjoying the season, but can I just say, seeing Todd act the way he acts, as far as like for real, because I missed you last week. I was moving, so I haven't been.
Oh, congratulations!
I haven't been in. Just moved in my first house, so I haven't been on much. But after when I was catching up and I saw when they were saying like, yeah, you need to work in the kitchen, which I don't understand as a manager why you wouldn't want to know every aspect of your business, and then seeing how he was working in the kitchen and then still wanted to talk SHI and try to put Melvin down. I was here for Aunt Bertha when Aunt Bertha said Melvin gonna be his you know what. I was like, yes, Aunt Bertha, please, Bravo cameras be there to see it. But the way he is acting, I don't know if it is just for this show because he knows what makes a good show, or if this is who he really is giving me the vibe of I see why Mama Joyce said everything that she said about you. I wanted it to not be true.
You know what? That's a good point, right? But Todd's a producer, so maybe he's just giving a moment. Because I will say this: everyone that Kandi seems to have around her has like a gentleness to them. Even Don Juan, like he's like rough, but he's very not gentle, but he's very aware of the way he handles people, you know? And you look at Melvin, who's like her son, you look at Patrick, you look at all the people around. I mean, Mama Joyce, that's her mom. She can do what he wants. But I feel like because she had all the men around her are so aware, it kind of doesn't make sense that Todd's like hell on wheels. However,
I mean, you know, that might be his New York and they down south. I don't know, but I know it's making me not like Todd, and I'm here for Mama Joyce and how she feeling about him right now. Why she said don't nobody like him. I hate that he keep pointing out what Kandi does for her family. Like, you met Kandi doing for her family. Like, that's a known, that's been a given. Why is that an issue? I don't care if Kandi paid for Melvin to go to school. I don't give a damn. Because he could have took that education and went worked somewhere else, but he came back and worked and slaved in OLG. And
you
you're
said
not
I
giving
don't give
him
a
the.
damn.
I don't. I'm serious. I don't care because he could have taken that education and worked went
Yeah.
anywhere, but he decided to come work for Kandi and work for y'all. And you can't even do the right thing by dropping Baby Blaze off, giving us our little Instagram video for your daddy daycare, and then go stand in the line and get a generator.
I hear you on that one. You know, I will say though, welcome back, Kimberly. I will say that when it comes to Todd, that is one thing I didn't even notice that. It's odd the way she got so many opinions on the way she spends her money, and especially because she just told us that Melvin is like her son. And you got so many opinions on what, and honestly, Kandi got more than a cute coin. Kandi got money. She can pay a whole school's tuition to college, and she still will be fine. The fact that she paid his way to culinary school, and here's the thing with Todd, and I get it because it's a certain way of thinking, and who knows who's right because it's situational. But I think Kandi understands that sometimes having people that you can trust around you is worth more than getting somebody that's very efficient at doing the job. Where sometimes it's better to get people that you know that you can trust. And by what I say trust, you know how when you got your family and friends you love, you trust them to be them, right? It's like that old joke where it's like, you know, what's that old joke where it's like, would I trust my you get a phone call and somebody says your sister just beat your child to death, and you'd be like, you're a damn liar. I know her, she wouldn't put a hand on a child. But somebody called you and be like, okay, your sister like had your child, like it ate so much ice cream the baby threw up. Yeah, that sounds like her, because I know her. It seems like Kandi realizes, and Todd hasn't, that you cannot buy loyalty. And for Kandi, you can't. And for Kandi, she's not trying to just have employees that this and that, and here's your fraud. She wants people, and this might be Kandi. Maybe Kandi has trouble trusting people. She wants people that she knows inside and out, and she trusts them to do the right thing, and she feels like she can train them to also be an asset to her. And people might roll their eyes at that, but isn't that what LeBron James did when he built his team? Everybody around him, his business managers, his this, his that, they were all people from the neighborhood where he was like, I know you like the back of my hand. I trust you to be you. Not perfect, but I trust you to be you. Now let me train you to do this job I think you can do, because we can all get money together. As opposed, so I feel like some people need to trust the people they're working with. And I feel like, yeah, it does stem from control and this and that. But again, I think it's just personalities. And I think Todd's personality is, I'll pay you your money and that's it. It's transactional. But I don't know. I've never been in Todd or Candy's situation. I don't know many people that have started
Exactly.
yeah, successful businesses on that level. Do you know what I'm saying? Like most people I know that started their own thing, they either run a corporation or they have like one big successful business. But Candy has her hand in all different pots. So I guess in that sense, you meet people that you really trust with your eyes wide shut. Like I have a feeling that no matter what somebody comes back and tells her about Don Juan, she'll know if it's true or not just because she knows Don Juan. You know what I'm saying? So
Listen, Don Juan run everything. Don Juan was calling them orders in the kitchen. I said to myself, well, good Lord, is there anything that Don Juan cannot do? Is it anything that he could not do? But the same way Don Juan was able to be efficient in the kitchen, I think Todd should be efficient in the kitchen. And the only reason I feel that way is because this was his brainchild. This was his baby. This was his project. This wasn't a Candy project. This was his idea. So I feel like you should fully know and support your idea.
But that's the thing with Todd. It makes me wonder with the old lady gang, you know, is it just he has a chip on his shoulder because everybody acts like you're just one of Candy's employees and he's like, I'm the boss. I'm the boss. Y'all gonna listen to me. Because at this point, I was like, it is almost a pathology that you don't want to get in the kitchen. Like you said, Todd, don't you want to know what's going on? Aren't you curious? Yeah, and forget about being on the line. How about you just stay back there all day on a stool and just watch? You don't even got to participate because judging by Melvin's face, you was messing everything up anyway. I don't know. What did you think about that, Kimberly?
I agree with you. I think that Todd is the kind of person, because it seemed like he really wasn't feeling it. It seemed as though when he first talked about it, you know, remember he was like, no, in essence, it was almost like he was above it. Like, and then it's almost like he had to be talked into doing it. Because remember when he came back this week and said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do it. It wasn't like, you know, he was all for it. It was just like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do it just to make everybody happy, just to shut everybody up. So,
yeah. And
that's what I feel.
And he was like the boss, just messing things up. Like, Todd, take your ego down. But again, I think this is one of the things that Candy loves about Todd. Todd likes to go in and run a situation and be the boss and be in charge. And I don't mean that to be negative. I do honestly feel like Todd, if he puts his foot in something, he wants to be competent and be able to like make boss moves. And I think that's probably why he was running from that kitchen, because he really had no idea what he was doing. And something about his ego, he's like, I don't want cameras on me while I'm learning. So every time when he was messing up, he's barking. What you mean? Well, it was hot when it went out. Todd, shut up. And just heat up this damn macaroni and cheese.
But that's why I said I wonder. I wonder if he really is messing up.
Catch Melvin Lee mugging him? He's looking like, I wish he would get the hell up out of this kitchen. Yeah. You can just tell he had that look like, dude, just get up out of here.
Exactly. Like, and Todd knew he was messing up, and he kept getting madder and madder. When Don Juan bought that crab cake back, and he's like, the crab cake cold too. Todd was like, hey, we need crab cakes. And Melvin was like, oh my God, get out of here. That was actually pretty funny. Just hearing Todd, and then Todd put bass in his voice. I need a burger too. I was like, all right, Todd. All right, man. All right, Todd. So I feel like Kandi, when Todd was saying something in the confessionals, and Kandi looked at him and was like, okay.
I think that's why Don Juan went ahead and just said, Todd, Kandi, old lady gang, it's over for you guys. They were ready to go.
Exactly.
Wasn't nothing better than Aunt Bertha going to take her smoke break.
Exactly. You guys, there are 257 people in this chat, this little impromptu Kandi and the gang. Go on and hit that like button.
Okay. I love our Bertha.
Oh, here we go. This is ADT next. Hey, ADT, what's going on?
Hi, hi Tisa. I think this is the first time I've called to a public live.
Exactly. What's going on?
But I kind of felt the urge to call in tonight, especially when I caught some of the earlier discussion regarding Vanderpump Rules, and I figured this would be a good time for Would it be okay if I claim the mantle of the resident TisaTells Bravo historian?
Yes, that is your mantle. You can't claim it. We gave it to you.
So
you finally stepped into your destiny. Go on.
thanks. But basically, and I think we talked about this during during a previous members only live. There are some similarities, obviously, in that both Vanderpump Rules and Kandi and the Gang feature housewives, running restaurants, but there are some key differences, and I think the biggest difference is just with the vibe check. Honestly, so far as I've been watching Kandi and the Gang, it's obviously the restaurant is going through some issues, but overall it seems like it's just much more upbeat. Whereas like when you go to the very earliest of seasons for Vanderpump Rules, there were always these very dark undercurrents. Always all this backbiting over who's cheating with whom, who's trying to get one over whom. And of course, the even nastier, uglier stuff with the racism and the transphobia and just the other garbage. Yeah, and at least so far, we're getting a reprieve from that with Kandi and the Gang.
Yeah. You know what the funny thing is about? I hear everybody, to your point, making comparisons with the Black Vanderpump Rules, and I would go so far to say, I completely agree with you. Vanderpump Rules is a dinosaur, and the weird thing is, it would never even be on for one season if it came on in 2021. You're right. The homophobia, the racism, the problematic things, it was just ridiculous. The transphobia, it was just absolutely ridiculous. So I see what you're saying. Yes, it's a restaurant, and yes, it's like a family, crazy, quirky family. But after that, the analogies just, and even the way Vanderpump Rules, like you said, was like Lord of the Flies, mean girls, mean guys. It was just crazy, like alcohol abuse, like meltdowns. It was just
To be fair, I mean to be fair, also, with both Kandi and Lisa Vanderpump, they came into their respective shows being more or less, big fan favorites. And and early on, there are a lot of let's just say office politics going on. But again, I think the key difference is that from what we're seeing with Kandi and the Gang, it really does seem like, or at least they're giving us a good impression that Kandi and Todd and the rest of the management really are interested in getting this restaurant back on track. Whereas again, even if you go back to the very beginning of Vanderpump Rules, it was quite clear what the agenda was. And by 3 or 4 years later, it became even more obvious when all the stars started bringing home these huge paychecks, and yet they were still trying to convince us all that they were just these lowly servers at this one restaurant in West Hollywood, when we can tell that they're buying these $1 million mansions and grabbing all these influencer deals. It became the stereotypical reality show that was so ridiculously fake.
Oh, sorry. My mic was muted. Sorry about that. I was like answering like whatnot. Sorry about that. Listen, so I have a quick question for you though, because you bring up some like really, really good points. But I have a quick question for you though. Where do you, because a lot of people have been like saying that they feel like Kandi and the Gang needs a little bit more zhuzhing, right? You bring up some interesting nexuses about like the good and the bad about Vanderpump Rules. Where do you think that Kandi and the Gang can kind of borrow a little bit from Vanderpump Rules, or do you feel like there's no need to zhuzh it up?
Well, I think one thing, one thing that we are seeing some of with Kandi and the Gang, but I think we can see more of. Hopefully, should the show get renewed for a second season, is from the very beginning, at Vanderpump Rules, which by the way had more or less the same production crew from Evolution Media as The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Okay.
They knew who their top asset was, and they took full advantage of, give the fans who they want, give them more Lisa Vanderpump. I think with Kandi, give us more Kandi, give us more Mama Joyce, give us more of Aunt Bertha and Aunt Nora. We love to, or at least I love, I'm loving the family dynamic.
Okay.
I think the more of that we get to see, really see how this truly is a family business. I think that will help.
That's so funny you say that, because I can see your point, but I actually would appreciate Kandi and Todd, not so much Todd, but Kandi and Aunt Bertha, Nola, and of course Mama Joyce. I would enjoy them actually taking a step back, and I would enjoy Don Juan kind of like running everything. If that makes any sense.
The restaurant, yeah. If we're talking about the restaurant, yes. If we're talking about the show, well, we'll see. I mean, it's not like
Right?
Don Juan's a bad presence on the show. It's just that I think the fans, especially more of the Bravo super fans, are much more invested in Kandi and Todd and the old lady gang.
You know what? I guess
they're still getting to, I mean, Don Juan has been on Atlanta Housewives, but like I don't think like he's yet become that big, that big of a TV star. And we're still getting to know the rest of the employees at the restaurant. Definitely it's been good for us to get to know everyone.
Yeah.
It just helps, especially during these early episodes, during the very beginning, to really lean into your strengths. And their strengths lie with the known commodities, the best known commodities.
You know what? I can see that, like you said, to advertise the show. But you know how, like, speaking of Vanderpump Rules, Emmett, right? Randall Emmett, right? Lala's ne'er-do-well, soon-to-be ex-husband. He specialized in a bunch of movies where basically you paid big stars a lot of money, so they would push the movie to big production houses, and they could also put like, oh, this is starring like Denzel Washington or Bruce Willis, and then you think they're gonna have a big role in the movie, and then you see that they only have like maybe a 5-minute role, but everybody's going to see the movie, and the rest of the movie's crap. I get it with Old Lady Gang and Kandi and Todd. They're the only ones that have name recognition. And even though we know Don Juan, a lot of viewers don't. Like I said, prior to this, I didn't really know. I knew Don Juan worked with Kandi, but I didn't have an opinion on him either way. So maybe they can use it as like catnip to lure people in and then show. But I see your point. Even if you do use them as catnip, you came in for Kandi, Old Lady Gang energy, and now you're getting like Chandrika and Patrick and Melvin, and it's like, who are these people? But I actually think with Don Juan ruling over them, that again, this episode, maybe because I like a good mystery, it tickled me even from the door. She was like going around being like, who do you think it was? It just had me cracking up.
It
was so funny.
But listen, here's my thing. Like, I agree with what he's saying to a certain extent. However, this is the first year. So this is the first season where we're getting to really meet anybody. So the first year of any show, nobody's looking for anybody particular, but the people they already know. But I'm going to just say, I turned into the show. Besides Aunt Bertha, Brian has captured a lot of people as a fan favorite with his one-liners, as well as, hearing about him, his sobriety, his sister. Even though I don't like Chandrilla because she lazy.
Brian is hilarious.
Yeah, even though I don't like Chandrilla because she lazy, Her clownery is reality TV gold. Besides, the next level is throwing something in somebody's face. Now, if they get a
Really think
season two,
Chandrika is
if they get a
lazy?
season,
She's a hostess. Ain't that much to do.
no, I'm when I say she lazy, I mean like, cause I've seen her working. That time when Brandon was sitting at that bar eating, she was working and running in circles. What I mean by lazy is, when she don't feel like working no more, she gonna just walk off and go to the parking lot. Or what, I don't feel like it right now.
I
Like, let me not say lazy. She just, when she get in her mood, she don't want to do it. But it's
Listen, I
but
was
it's
the same way. Like, okay, and I'm done. But your shift ain't
but
over 5 hours. Yes, it is. Fire me. I'm going home. Bye.
but it's reality
Focus on
TV.
trying
But
to
I
find
think,
out who said what, and she was the one who said it.
yes, I was
And
like,
this may be
girl,
an
you doing the investigation on your own self. But I think, like when Don Juan was saying, a lot of them have issues now. Being that they done been watching the episodes and seeing what's getting said. If they get a season two, that may make season two a little more feistier. Right?
Yeah.
Because you can watch reality TV, but it's a different thing when you in it and you in the confessional of
Oh,
your own.
that's a good point. How's everybody going to react to now all these things were said, done, felt? What's really going to happen? That'll be actually a good season
Because
two.
I want
I hope
somebody to
this
ask
show.
Melvin. I really want somebody to ask Melvin, do him and Chandrilla have
That
a
was so
problem?
funny.
And is he going to move out? Because I'm trying to figure out how Patrick is controlling the apartment with Safari. Like, Melvin don't live there. If Melvin don't have no problem with Chandrilla and he want to invite Chandrilla to the doggone housewarming, then let her be there. Like,
Yeah.
that's not just
Oh
Patrick's
God.
place for him and Safari to be controlling. So if somebody whispering that, fans be in the inboxes and whisper, you got to see how they going to react and handle to this. So I think all of that is going to make.
Safari is a jerk chicken. Oh
Girl,
Lord, have mercy.
I'm ready for her to go because she makes no sense. It's okay for, first of all, everybody already know where Patrick live around there, okay? Because it's not that far from the OLG.
Oh, really?
Second of all, you have a problem with Chandrilla and her old man, aka June.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Coming to the housewarming where you and
Thank you.
Patrick are going to be together,
Thank
but
you.
you have no problem with them going out with the other crew and eating and drinking after work, baby. If he wanted something, he can bend her over in the parking lot and slide them things to the side. If they wanted to do that, you have no problem with them going out to drink with neither you or June there, just the rest of the co-workers who ain't gonna tell you or June if they doing what. But you got a problem with them being at an event that y'all gonna be at.
Here's the
Safari
thing.
has a nasty attitude.
You guys, we have to remember though, Patrick almost got into Chandrika's boyfriend. If that was me and it's your ex, go out and drink on work. Go out and have fun. But from my house and my housewarming, especially because I know there was something going on where y'all almost came to blows, why would you want that in your house? Like, so it's like, why would you want that tense energy like in your house? I can understand Chandrika. Now, if everybody was on good terms, maybe differently. But the last time you saw this guy, you guys tried to get to blows.
Okay.
All this stuff's going on. I wouldn't want that energy in my house. It's just like, I don't know what's going on between you guys. Either that or Chandrika can come without her boyfriend.
But she doesn't want Chandrika there at all. She was like, no matter what, Chandrika, he can have the housewarming. But Chandrika,
well, I can understand that too. Because honestly, if he was trying to find Chandrika's boyfriend, what were they fighting about? Except for what? Something dealing with Chandrika or what Chandrika told him. I just think with that, I can see why she wouldn't want Chandrika in the house. And again, I'm pretty easygoing with that type of stuff. But there are a lot of people that believe, like, no, I don't want like energy like that around. I don't want your ex around. I don't want this. I don't want that. And it's her house at the end of the day. Like, I don't know. No, the one thing it did make me think of is
that's my issue.
What's that?
My issue is that he's not considering Melvin, even when he decided to fire Torin because she wanted to decorate. Like, your girlfriend can't decorate for Melvin as well. If Melvin is paying bills up in here, then Melvin has a say. I don't care if like Patrick couldn't be my roommate because I'd have told him Safari can decorate your area. Safari can dictate who you gonna invite, but she ain't gonna dictate to me who I'm gonna invite in a place where I pay bills. It's the not considering Melvin for me that I don't like.
Yeah, that was a little bit crazy, but maybe the only thing I thought of was, is this like a production trick? And does Melvin not really live there? But they say, hey, you know, for production, just act like you live with Patrick. Either that or Melvin is just incredibly easy going. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, he lives there because on Kandi Speak On It, Kandi had a lot to say on Kandi Speak On It with Don Juan this weekend on Sunday. And she really doesn't like the fact that Safari is controlling him. You know, she don't, I mean, they basically both Don Juan and Kandi, they both said it's like, you know, you're trying to be this way for this girl, be yourself. And it's like he's like the way Kandi explained it was like is his name Patrick, right? Patrick is like her brother who passed away. He has that kind of spirit. And he's like the life of the party. And, you know, and that's another thing Kandi brought up. Kandi brought up the fact that, first of all, if you go back and look at was it the first episode? Kandi brought up on Speak On It. Remember, June and Sandrika were at the table when Patrick invited everybody to the housewarming, including June and Sandrika. And I totally forgot about that. I was like, oh yeah, they were at the table. I think that was Kandi said that was the first or the second episode.
Yeah,
you're right.
She showed the clip on Kandi Speak On It on Sunday. So
I remember that. So that's why I'm like, it's clear to me
Safari has a nasty attitude. That's another thing. You know, I just feel like she has an icky attitude. She just,
I don't know. With Safari, I don't know. I can't get a read on her yet. Because I'm trying to figure out, is that really her attitude, or is Patrick telling her stuff, or is there more than we don't know? Or maybe she's just not friendly to outsiders. And I do know that when somebody is with their first love, this is the first time he's been in love that he says. Most of the time, people's first loves are very possessive because you take the person being possessive and not wanting your friends and family around. It's like, oh my God, they just want me all to themselves. And you just want to be with that person too. Again, Patrick is out, but he said this is the first girl he's ever really, really been into. So maybe he takes her the way Safari isn't really about, like, she's on some no new friends. She's not a very social friendly person. She's like, oh, I'm fine over here. And the fact that she's like, we're good right now because Patrick's so in love and he only wants to be with her. He's like all about it, you know? Who knows how he's going to feel in a year or two when the feelings die down. And he's like, damn, can I go like anywhere with my friends without you, like, you know, clinging on to me? Who knows? But I don't know. I think right now.
But it wasn't even just the Shandrika. It was how she acted with Torin too. Like, why was that her decision to tell Torin, oh, we decided I'm going to decorate. You're not going to decorate. What?
Torin, that's what I just said. Yeah.
See, she had an attitude and was nasty with him for no reason.
I mean, I can't even defend that. But yes, I can. Because
she was nasty with him on the first time.
No, she was. She was, but also
she was nasty.
She was, but also with Patrick, it's like, I would have been angry at Patrick, like, why you put me in the middle of that? If we have a conversation and we decide that we're not going to use your friend's services, it's your responsibility as your friend to tell them we decided we're not going to use them. The fact that he was like, tell them, I'd have been like, yeah, I'm going to decorate. And Agora Safari, because she looks at everybody as like little kids because she's older, you know, she's then like, you know, Safari honestly is a lot like Philip to me. They seem like they're a lot alike. Even the way they react, it's just like, you know.
Put them in the same category, Tisa. I know you're too nice to say it. Philip is a drunk chicken, and so is Safari. She's a drunk chicken too. We're both.
Do you think Patrick wanted her to tell her because deep down he really wanted Torin to decorate, but he was just letting her have her way? Just
maybe, but at the end of the day, it's like, Patrick, you put Torin, forget about your girlfriend, because maybe this is what she agreed to and but you also put Torin in a really awkward situation. And you literally, because you didn't know what to do, you literally started beef between two people that you're still dealing with Now she don't want him in the house because she ain't like his energy. But she didn't realize the reason that he was bringing those vibes to her is because Patrick was like, well, it's her, it's her, it's her. I mean, I would, but she doesn't want you here. So then Torrance, like, you know, and she's feeling some weird energy, but the weird energy she's feeling is Patrick told him that you didn't want him around. So again, she reminds me a lot like Philip, the way she reacts to the energy, and she doesn't look around to be like, okay, what role am I playing in this energy? Because had she just literally calmed it down and just said, listen, I hear you're a great decorator, but you know, this is kind of like my first place with a guy I'm living with, and I'm really excited. So I want to try my own hand, but you know, try my own test decorating my house. And then maybe in the future, if I need your help, like maybe can I still call you? But I just want to, this is something special and I want to do it myself because it's my home and I want to decorate for my man. That's all she had to say. But instead, she was like, we don't need you. And it's just like, okay, Safari girl, why be so aggressive? Just tell the truth. But to tell the truth would be for her to humble herself. And she reminds me of Philip. She doesn't like to ever humble, to ever show that she's unsure. She doesn't seem like she likes to show.
I wonder,
she can't do everything. What's that?
You must be a Leo.
I'm saying she don't even live there though to say, you know, this is my first place with a guy. She could have said, I really just want to decorate his room and make it special, but she didn't decorate nothing. All we saw was that rug and that bean bag that didn't even match.
Yeah,
when
but I think
I love
she
the way she decorated, we didn't see
anything. But even if she
didn't,
Patrick's fine with that. And to her, she just wants to be the person that I don't know though. I can't see as they move on the relationship. That's actually going to be a problem though, because she needs to be his everything, which is fine because he looks up to her so much. It almost reminds me of those like young girls when they get their boyfriend, they're like, oh my God, he's so amazing. But then after a few years, they're like, he ain't anything. He get on my nerves because you start to see them as a real person instead of the pedestal. And it's kind of like that way that she wants to be his everything. I don't know how long-term sustainable that is, especially when he starts getting used to the stuff that you naturally do. You know, it's a little, I don't know.
On Candy's speech on it, they brought up the fact that it seems as though Frederica is wearing the pants in the relationship. And so then Kandi made it a point to say to Don and Juan, he made it a point to say, well, you know what? We need to have both of them on here. So then I think Don Juan made a joke and said, even though he was serious, he made it a joke to say, well, you know, Stefani may not let him come on here by himself. You know, she may not let Patrick come on and Kandi on about. And Kandi said, no, she can come on and she was serious. You know, Kandi can get serious. And Kandi got serious and she said, no, Safari can come on by herself and tell me why she's doing all these things. And Patrick can come on by himself. And she was serious. You know, you could tell it kind of annoys Kandi that Safari is, you know, controlling him.
Well, Kandi said
and
she looked at Patrick.
She also said, I think Don Juan or either Kandi said that he's basically lost himself. You can lose yourself to a person and not be your real, authentic self.
I get that, but like, I don't know. I feel like women will be in this situation a lot and nobody even blinks an eye. Like, he's not in an abusive relationship. She is a little bit like, I got it. But I don't think that she wears the pants in the family. I just think that he's really, really into her. And usually when people are really, really into you, whether you're man or woman, they're wrapped around your finger. He's just really, really into her, you know? I don't know about him wearing the pants in the relationship because the way he reacts with everyone, it makes me wonder. See, y'all think that he's doing all this stuff and being indirect because Safari's on him. But what I want to know is, how were you before Safari? Because were you still doing that indirect thing, but it was just with different people and different stuff? That's all. Before I say that she's running him, it's like, but are you an actually very assertive person to begin with?
That's what Kandi, you know? That's what Kandi said. She said that he's nowhere near the person that she knows him to be. She doesn't even see a speck of who Patrick was before he got with her. And that's what Don Juan said, because remember, you know, they moved in. Patrick and Melvin moved in with Kandi when they were babies or kids or whatever. And so that's what Don Juan said as well. He said, you know, I'm just concerned because we don't see this person. We don't know who this person is. Patrick is not the person that we knew him to be. And you're just letting her control every part of who you are. That's what Don Juan and Kandi both said. That's why Kandi then said, well, you know what? We need to have both of them on here. And then Don Juan cracked that joke and said, well, I don't know, maybe Safari won't let him come on. And she was like, no, they need to come on separately.
And then you got to remember Kandi looking at him like her kid as well, like not just a cousin, her kid. When your mama pick up on something that ain't right, they don't let it go. They like a dog with a bone. They gonna chase it down till they get the end of it. So she knows who Patrick is in and out. So if anybody can say Patrick is not, Kandi would be the one to say it. I just have a problem with it, male or female. When you get somebody, they want to control everything you do, every decision you make, every aspect of your life, and alienate you from the people that man or female. It ain't right to me, and it won't sit well in my spirit.
That's right.
And if Patrick was my cousin, I'd be told her go to the furthest.
Well, hold on, you guys. Listen, I 100% agree, but I actually do have to go. I don't know what is going on with my computer internet. It keeps getting blurry. It keeps stopped. I keep seeing glitches in the matrix. I'm on screen. I'm not on screen. Let me know. I don't know what is going on with StreamYard today, but pray it gets better. It's just going crazy today. You guys, listen, thank you so much for joining for Kandi and the Gang. I'm going to try to do a live stream next week, but I'm going to be away at some place that doesn't really have internet, but we'll see how it goes, right? I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I don't think we can live stream from the island, but I don't know. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to see how it goes. We're going to see how it goes. Regardless, you guys, I have to skip a week. I'll see you guys the week after that for Kandi and the Gang and Love and Marriage Huntsville. And don't forget, Roja and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills are coming on in just a few short weeks. So we are going to have a grand old time. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining. Thank you, ADT, Next, Kimberly, and Nola. Thanks so much, you guys. And all you guys in the comments, thank you so much.
Thanks, Tisa.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.